What's up, waves? Welcome back to Melina, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. On today's episodes, we're putting the costume back on in My Dress Up Darling Season 2, episodes 1 through 6, directed by Kisuke Shinohara, written by Yoriko Tomita, music by Takeshi Nakatsuka, animation production by Cloverworks. The second season aired July 6th through September 21st, 2025. All episodes are available to stream on Crunchyroll based on the manga by Shinichi Fukuda. Then we got that Demon in Us in Dandadan Season 2 episodes 1 through 6 as well, directed by Abel Gongara, who took over from Fuga Yamashiro from the first season, written by Hiroshi Seko, music by Kensuke Ushio, animation production by Science Saru. The second season aired July 4th through September 19th, 2025. All episodes are available to stream on Crunchyroll and Netflix worldwide except Japan. Season 1 has been licensed by G-Kids in the US and Anime Limited in the UK for home video releases. Season 1 is out in the US, it's coming out in the UK soon. It's based on the manga by Yokinobu Tatsu. Extended credits will be linked in the description for both shows. As always, I'm your host, Notorious, and joining me once again today is just Shaun.
Hello, I am Rocket Engine Valve.
I'm still getting
last season. I forgot to make the joke on the last time we covered this. I'm making it now.
That was my Discord name all of like last month too.
Yeah, in katakana.
In katakana,
because you're such a fucking weeb.
I spent far too much time doing that. I literally added the Japanese keyboard to my phone just to do that. Also immediately realized, wow, I may know hiragana and katakana now, but I don't know how to use a Japanese keyboard because it's very different from... it's not a QWERTY keyboard. You can set it up like that if you want. There is like a Roman version of it where if you just type in like Rocket Engine Valve, it'll turn it into like hiragana or katakana. But like I sort of like... I think as a learning method, it's helpful to have just the characters themselves. So yeah. Anyway, that's not the point right now.
No, I had to bring that up because it was really funny to for a whole month because we do this thing. This is revealing a lot about our personal stuff and like how our friendship is. But unlike our Discord like channel, which is our main form of communication, really. We do this thing where like we change like our server nickname and profile picture like every month. It's been a tradition for like years now. It's just a thing we do. And like it was really funny for a whole month just like getting messages from you and seeing a Japanese like name.
Yeah, because I can read it, you can't. You know what it means, but at the same time it's still just unintelligible to you.
I like your funny symbols, Japanese guy. I don't want that as a quote.
Yeah.
I don't want that quote attributed to me.
Okay, so yeah, the way this is gonna work is that we're doing the first half of both shows this month here in this episode, and then also in this month you'll get the other half, because normally I think if people see this they'll be like, oh shit, now I need to wait to November to see the other half. No, don't worry. That's sort of how we normally do it if like there's maybe like other stuff we want to cover, but this month we're like, okay, we're not covering 2 months. Just Shaun and I were just doing one. So we wanted to try and get Dandadan and My Dress Up Darling all in the 1 month. And we were originally intending to do them in separate episodes, like for their own thing. But yeah, for like our own mental and production workflow, it made more sense.
Yeah, just like there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, like as we're recording this. So this was just like the safest way for ourselves to do it.
If anyone wants
like
to
mentally
sort of understand it, the seasons have not finished airing as we're recording this. They are about 2 or 3 episodes each away from ending. And we're gonna record the other one as soon as, sort of roughly around the time that they end, which is also going to be around the time we're recording the Halloween episodes. which is, fun.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, which show do we wanna start with, for risk of some guy commenting again that we haven't spent enough time talking about the shows?
Yeah, we saw you last time, motherfucker. You're gonna deal with our tangents, and you're gonna like it, or you can click off and listen to something else. We're not gonna force you.
Yeah, like, one, it is your time. You can spend it how you wish. Also, it's a fucking podcast. Do you understand how they work?
I don't want to take so much time calling out the singular guy that's just did this, but still, we got that call. I remember us seeing that comment and going, "Really, dude?
Really? Yeah."
Yeah. Anyway, we both kind of watched this in a fuck-ass order, where I feel like we just sort of sandwiched Dress Up Darling between our watches of the Dandadan episodes.
Yeah, I started with the first 3 episodes of My Dress Up Darling, and then I did Dandadan, then I did My Dress Up Darling, and then I did Dandadan again.
Oh, I fucked it up then.
Okay. No, I started with My Dress Up Darling because it's been calling to me like the fucking Green Goblin mask since it started airing again.
That's been me, but Dandadan.
Yeah, that it's been calling to me too, but like, My Dress Up Darling is probably like one of my favorite shows and manga to come out in like a long time. So it's just like I wanted that sort of like rush of joy the show just sort of like brings.
Yeah.
And it has. Well, I guess we'll just start with My Dress Up Darling then.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah. Because like immediately, like, I started the first episode of season 2, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, this is just such a joy to watch. We're immediately thrown into some show created for the show, and like how Marion's then gonna cosplay a character from this show. And it's one of the things that I love about the anime specifically, is that they'll take whatever the thing in the manga is, and they'll build on it to add in the show or drama or the series that it is based on, because you don't really see a whole bunch of that in the manga. It's like, oh, this is, thingy from Slippery Girls, and you'll maybe see like some of the panels and stuff, and then same with like the demon succubus thing, you'll see like some panels and stuff, but it's not like you're seeing like full episodes of Blaze and whatever it was that they were watching at the beginning of the first episode of this season. I can't remember the name of the show. And then you got Prez Host too, a bit later on in these episodes.
They put a lot of effort into really building up the shows within the shows, to the point where like I was like a good chunk through that first episode of the season, and I was like, I'm kind of cool with just watching this for like a good while, whatever this is. This bunny girl assassin like group that are like trying to kill someone in the casino that I'm pretty sure is from Castle of Cagliostro.
Immediately I was like, that's the casino from Castle of Cagliostro.
If you look in the corner just a little bit, you can see 2 figures going down a road.
Yeah, the alarms are about to start any second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that shows like Cat's Eye meets I was gonna say Gunsmith Cats, but probably not. Yeah, Cat's Eye meets like something else that takes itself a little less seriously.
Yeah, definitely something fun. We had a whole flashback in the show within a show, where like one of the characters has this like well thought out plan to like throw a bomb that they've just lit up by accident into like the place and get the guy, and then we cut back to them actually doing it, and no, it completely fucks everything up.
Yep. I love this show. I love Marion and Gojo just being like friends as well. Like that's a huge part of the show, is their dynamic, and also like Marin essentially like as an extrovert adopting Gojo as the introvert, and sort of like expanding his world view in general, because he's quite a reclusive person in the sense of what he actually like consumes, enjoys, and pays attention to. And I think this season's really good at having Gojo be friends with other people too. and it be natural and not the classic anime thing of Gojo's self-perception is that other people don't like him, think he's weird, think he's creepy, all because of like genuine trauma that he has.
Yeah, like that's what happened to him when he was a kid and he tried to like reach out to other people.
Yeah, whereas like a lot of shows, especially manga and anime, would like take that and be like, no, they actually are creepy, weird, disliked, or whatever, and like it kind of makes
that. Like, I feel like a lot of media, just overall, even just Western stuff, would take that approach. Like up until like the last like 10 years, I'd say, because we're sort of. I remember saying to you specifically that like it's somewhat more realistic to have like the character be self-perceiving themselves as like weird and like that sort of thing, and like putting that on other people, and like other people actually being, you know, I don't actually care. Like this is cool, whatever you're doing. I think even if I don't particularly like feel a grip to it, it's cool that you like it and stuff. Which I feel like my point is, it feels very reflective of when you get older and you realize most people are actually kind of chill.
Yeah,
like most rational people are kind of chill.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of shows, it takes that idea and then it makes like all of it an uphill battle in terms of like the characters enjoying things or doing things, is like they're then, you know, having to contend with the peers around them, whereas this show, it's like that's just all in Gojo's head, and the moment that it becomes not in his head, it's not actually that much of a battle. It's straightforward, and it makes it great when he himself then goes, the only battles I have to face are with myself, and when he has to like, you know, go up to someone and ask them to help with something, because he thinks that he's then going to be imposing on them, but he also realizes that no, actually these people are my friends and they will help me, which is sort of like these six episodes we've watched are essentially, that's the entire arc, is Gojo
basically
coming to terms with like he can be friends with people and rely on them, and that they're not gonna hate him, because that's what the whole sort of like cultural festival arc really is about. And then Marin, you know, becomes a guy for a bit.
you know, just sort of like, you know, has to, because the cultural festival demands it. I'm not gonna pretend I know like Japanese like school festivals and stuff, but I feel like that's an arbitrary rule that's made for the show.
That's 100% just the theme of what they're doing for their cultural festival, because like the talent shows can vary. I've seen enough slice of life anime like this to immediately, because I haven't read the manga in a while, when they started talking about the cultural festival, I was trying to sort through all of the ones in my head and be like, no, that was Haruhi. No, that was Hyoka. No, that was that other one. Because Haruhi
was very much like loving the concept. Sorry, I completely interrupted you.
No, it's all right. I was gonna say Haruhi famously has like a live performance of a band in it with Haruhi's character singing the vocals. But yeah, no, the theme's great. I think because it's something Marin hasn't done as a cosplayer yet in the show, where she goes, you know,
she came sort of like close in like near the end of the first season, where she was doing like a character that was more, I can't remember, were they a guy or were they just more androgynous?
I think they were just more androgynous. I think the only person who's ever done like cross-play, for lack of a better term, in the show is the sister of the other cosplayer. Where she dressed as the guy character, which, you know, that whole part, that whole part was still a little weird, because she's like 12 and her, you know, they exploded out.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I just can't.
Yeah. I do like that the whole sort of like cross-dressing thing from like the school perspective was built up like early in the earlier episodes with I forget his name.
Oh,
What's his name?
Not Amino. That's the guy who draws the Final Fantasy artwork. Himeno.
It definitely began with an A.
Amini. Yeah, Amani Himeno.
Yeah.
That's their
Amani, yeah.
Yeah, that's their cosplay name.
Yeah. Either way, that was so cool to like sort of see, because that is like a dynamic of cosplay. You're gonna get like people who like want to cosplay as characters like that are another gender, so that's just gonna be something that's just a part of the culture, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of like whenever Hololive does concerts is seeing all the people do like buff cosplays of the girls.
Yeah. Never forget Buff Rat.
Buff Rat. Yeah, it is. It's embedded.
Was there Buff Callie at some point?
Yeah, I've seen Buff Rissa this year. It's just all of them at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like a natural part of the cosplay world. But I like that they build in sort of like the kind of less I don't necessarily know if I want to say progressive Japanese view of things, where like they like why is the name not sticking in my mind? Amino is like sort of like always a little cautious of telling people that they're, you know, a guy.
Yeah, because it's not gonna be like completely safe, sadly.
Yeah.
Because, and even just like either just like safety, or even just like because people are gonna give him what like Gojo is terrified of, which is, you know, the same sort of, you know, oh, that's weird, that's creepy, what's wrong with you sort of thing, which is how they sort of bond in that moment, which I feel like was a nice thing as well.
I like the flip of it as well, of like, because obviously as Amino's telling that story, Gojo's gonna assume that like, oh, this is something that they, you know, that broke them, that hurt them. And then obviously Amino's immediately like, nah, I just dumped her. Like, fuck that, I'm not.
I started clapping at that. I was like, yes, you go. Fuck that bit. Like, it's funny because they play it like very seriously as he's telling the story, because like obviously it feels like it's gonna go that way, but then like when at the point that the Marin's like crying and stuff, he's just like, nah, I just dumped her.
Yeah.
No one's stopping me from this. Also, shout out to store owner guy. He was based as fuck.
Yeah, I love him. He does show up in the first season, but I think it's the second season where he starts to like, they go there more often.
Yeah.
And he immediately is like, there's nothing wrong with a guy dressing up in this bunny outfit.
He goes through a whole arc in his own head, like, but of course, this is the new age. It's not as so stifling as it used to be. People can do whatever they want, and I must help him. And then I do like that, like they do the sort of rug pull where it's like, oh no, it's just for her.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't, but like he still goes, oh well, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Like they don't have it like sort of reversed or anything like that, which I was a little scared of for like a second.
He does apologize, but like that also makes sense, you know? Like I get it.
It's not like a super like over dramatic thing. It's just sort of, oh, sorry, I misread this a little, but that's cool.
Yeah, my bad, man. I had the wrong idea. Still cool.
Yeah. Still based. He became my new favorite character for these like 6 episodes.
I think he should still keep showing up. I can't remember what's next. Because like I say, it's not fresh in my mind. Because the manga is finished
going off
now.
of the opening titles, because from what I'm able to recognize, and I recognized in the first season as well, you see sort of Marin's like outfits from the season, like in the OP, so you can kind of guess what she's gonna do next, just like if you memorize those like outfits.
That's true, because like there's the first sort of like I keep thinking of the ending, and the ending shows the season 1 outfits, where like there's the 4 Marins like lined up, and then she like turns around and it's like the Shizuka cosplay, and then it's like the sort of like boudoir cosplay, and then the shark teeth girl cosplay. But yeah, I keep forgetting that like they put in what's gonna classic anime opening thing, and I just wasn't paying attention for some reason.
Yeah. Well, anyway, now I know that like at some point in the near future she's gonna dress up as a nun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know where this is going.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that brings Juju back into the fold.
Ah, fun.
Yeah. It's a group cosplay thing.
Ah, okay, I see. I'll say I like a store owner guy or store clerk guy. I'm not sure if he was actually the owner, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
I liked him, and I liked I forget her name, but twin tail girl who's obsessed with karaoke.
Oh yeah. God, this is the thing, is like I like that there's such an expansive friend group, and like those characters are from season 1, but there's an explosion of how many characters there are in this season that I can't keep track of everyone. That's Noah, I think's her name.
Okay.
Yeah, Noah. Because there's like the 2 main friends that I'm forgetting. Noah and someone else, the other one. But so many characters show up in these like 6 episodes. I could not remember everyone's name.
No, and I'm historically terrible with names whenever we watch something, so I had no chance. But like I just give characters names after a while. Call her Twin Tails girl.
So you got Noah and Karen are like the 2 main friends of Marin.
Yeah.
And then you got like the rest of the classmates who we sort of get introduced to during the cultural festival. The one who also sounds and looks a lot like Raiden from Hololive, which was very funny.
Yeah. Sorry, I can hear my dog barking.
Oh, I was wondering what that was. I was sort of confused for a second there.
Yeah. I don't know how long that's gonna go on.
But I don't think it's coming through very clearly, so it's all right.
Okay. You don't get to hear dogs, dear listener.
No, we're recording from home on Discord, so like
if you couldn't tell already from the audio quality on Discord.
Audio quality, weird pauses as we wait for each other because Discord's kind of fucky, all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my point. I really liked her, and like one of my favorite moments of just these like few episodes is when Marin's sort of like trying on the Riz on Gojo.
Yeah.
Like when she's preparing for like her host sort of like act thing, and then Twin Tail Girl immediately gets the idea to like chime in and be like the second princess there that's really into it.
Yeah. And Gojo,
I thought that was funny.
For that brief moment, has a look into being a girl getting hit on.
Yeah, he understands the struggle for like a good second. He's like, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, she goes full in on like this sort of like cat girl princess in that moment.
Yeah, she does the 3 smile.
Yeah. She also blurts out at the end of the first episode asking if Gojo and Marin are dating.
Leading to one of my favorite like ending like notes of the whole so far, of just him in the bunny suit just like spraying out like the juice from shop.
Yeah. Can you blame him? She just fully, no build up, no preparation, just screaming through a karaoke
Into the mic.
Yeah. Mid-song.
No shame. Yeah.
Girl has a question. She wants an answer.
There are better times. There are so many better times. Why now? Why here? Why in the mic? Why in front of Catgirl Guy?
Yeah, one of the classmates is
That's
dressed up.
That's not a diss at Catgirl Guy, by the way. Love Catgirl Guy, but like, come on.
I love that he gets used as an example later of like embodying a different gender while you're cosplaying them, because he's just fully sitting.
I did sort of wonder because. Sorry, I did sort of wonder why he was there from like a narrative perspective, because like as just a background thing it's cool, but like it's done so like nonchalantly that he's just there that I was like, I feel like this is gonna come back somehow.
Yeah, I feel
I just
like
got a sense.
He's that type of guy who would do that anyway, but it's also like it does serve like a narrative purpose later, because he's in full on like tight dress, short, and is just, you know, still man-spreading.
Yeah, no shame.
No shame.
Like, come on, dude, cross your legs a little.
Yeah.
Have some dignity. No one needs to see that. The whole discussion about just like trying to get down like mannerisms and stuff was like such an interesting aspect as well, that like I didn't even think of for like a second, but it makes like perfect sense to like get like the look down.
It never even.
There's obviously like a whole bunch of subconscious stuff that you do depending on like your gender expression that like very much like, even whether you realize it or not, is going to like tell people like whether what you're trying to go for and like what they're gonna clock.
Yeah, because it's like, it's also just like anatomy is physically different, so the way people carry themselves is fundamentally different too, because like the way guys stand and the way women stand and stuff, and even sitting and all that sort of thing, is like, it is very much based sort of a little bit on, you know, what you're carrying.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's like, it's one point like just anatomy, but there's also like subconscious, like just sort of learned sort of mannerisms you do as well, but like you don't even realize you do until like you maybe look into it a little more and like, oh, I didn't realize I did that, huh?
Yeah, some of it's like,
they don't like serve like they don't serve a physical purpose. It's just something you do like out of a cultural sense.
Yeah, some of it's definitely like social ingraining of I guess stereotypical gender things, markers of manliness and womanliness and all this sort of, you know, archaic shit.
Because unfortunately on some levels you can't escape that, and sometimes it fucking sucks.
Yeah. I
love that entire discussion just in the show.
And it is that sort of like, it's interesting how just doing something like that can change someone's whole presence. You know, obviously it's played up because it's an anime, but like even in real life,
it's animation, it's gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah, but like if you see it in real life, it does have that like power to change someone's like presence within a dynamic type thing. I feel like words are completely failing me at this point for some reason.
Yeah.
But like sort of like the way someone fits into like just a room, depending on how if they do something like that, it does, you know, shift that presence, whether it makes them stand out more or sort of even just to kind of hide away from something. Obviously the intent here is to stand out. But yeah.
But like I sort of noticed some things as well, because like that, I think at one point like they sort of make a point that like guys typically sort of like shoulders are a bit more out and like they stand up straight and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, that is something that like happens.
Yeah.
And that's not something like I don't think anyone really thinks about.
Because it is always sort of like the thing is guys are meant to sort of like put their chest out a little bit.
Yeah. You know, stand up like tall and stuff.
It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'll keep my back straight. I ain't, you know, fucking squaring the shoulders and shoving the chest out. That's not fun.
I mean, like, yeah, keep good posture, but don't try and be like Gorilla Man.
Yeah, don't walk like what's it that it's not Teen Titans, is it? It's that one animated like loop of them sort of like, you know what I'm talking about. The swagger.
Oh, the fucking like Treasure Island meme.
Yeah.
Like Russian Treasure Island where like they've got like the guy just sort of going like side to side almost. Like waddling. I always think of it's this one specific like Tom and Jerry meme where like it's just like Tom like pointing like to like the other cats and they're just like these big fucking like shoulder cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish I could describe the meme better, but it's always what I think of when I think like over exaggerated like male pose.
Yeah, or fucking Johnny Bravo.
There you go. That's your good stereotype right there.
Yeah. Did you see the bits in chat, mama?
How many people are gonna get that?
No one's gonna get that. I don't think the crossover of Snap Q audience and our audience is that big.
Hey, the audience, the crossover is me.
Yeah, it's us. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the point. I just sort of like that discussion, just sort of going into it, and it's nice to see like an anime that you don't think would really like. You never really think it's gonna go that deep into the stuff, like actually like analyze that stuff. Yeah. And it's still sort of lighthearted.
Mm-hmm. It takes it seriously enough, but also, you know, gives it a good level of humor, because obviously it's like, it's the guy who was dressed as the cat girl, I think, who's sort of like the louder of the friend group.
Yeah,
everyone's sort of like, they love him, but at the same time they're like, man, shut the fuck up.
yeah, the bashful dumbass.
Yeah, because he's like immediately like, yeah, I'll show you what to do, and Marin's like, I hate your fucking guts. No, you will not.
I will strangle you.
Yeah.
I like how at one point, because I can't remember if he was in this first season, but I didn't like recognize him at all. So when he basically actually gets introduced in like the classroom setting, like you basically have one of the other guys saying, and you got to speak clearly about this, because if you don't speak clearly, this guy's not gonna get it, and he's a dumbass.
Yeah. And he's like, whoa, sudden death.
I love that sudden close-up where he's like, whoa, sudden death, and that's it.
That's sort of like, there's a lot of really funny moments that come from the fact that, like, even if these characters were in the first season, we're only really getting introduced to all of them now. And so, like, Gojo walks into the classroom and everyone's like, yeah, why aren't you working on the costume, man? And he's like, well, I'm meant to be working on this with you guys. And everyone's like, no, you should be working on the costume.
That's not what you do. That's not what you're doing here.
And Gojo's just like,
we gave you a task. You have to follow that task because we can't fucking do it.
And Gojo's just like,
and we're not letting her do it on her own. Yeah. Have you seen her? She's insane.
Gojo's just like, eh? And one of the friends is like, well, that's my line. And I'm like, that caught me so off guard for some reason, because it's so like, okay, they clearly already have like a great dynamic, because they're just so willing to be friends with Gojo, but Gojo's just been too oblivious to that fact.
Yeah, he's still in his I'm an outcast, no one likes me, like,
yeah,
you know, that he doesn't really like clock that they're chill with him.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, real. That's very realistic.
Yeah.
I'm not giving away my past in saying that.
I think that kind of covers what we've seen so far of season 2, because we kind of touched on, I think, just about everything that happens, because you got the, you know, the cross-dressing cosplay section at the start, and you got the cultural festival. Don't think we missed anything. There's a small nod towards Marin still saving up for the camera, and, like, you know, Gojo vastly representing their relationship.
Yeah. Oh, that fucking, like, screen cap where he just suddenly breaks down and is just like, our relationship is entirely based on money.
It's like, you can
To
just
which,
say
like,
you're friends,
obviously,
man.
but obviously, like, he's not gonna clock anything beyond that. That's just a panic, like, response to just
Yeah.
try and get out the situation. But that sort of leaves an unintended, like, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Misleading circumstances here, and
Yeah.
it makes, like, the woman he's talking to think, wait, so is she? Huh?
Yeah.
That's not what?
Is she paying
What did he
him
mean by
for
that?
his company, or is he paying her for her company?
Is that legal?
Yeah. No.
I don't think that's legal here.
Actually, there is a whole
I-
series based on that premise called Rent a Girlfriend, so you know.
Let's please not. You've told me enough about that. I don't want to.
The best trash.
That's not to say that Michael goes on like long tangents on this at
No.
all. I've just heard about this for like years of him trying to watch it.
I've watched every season sort of roughly around when it airs, so at this point you've had the 3-year experience of it, and now you're probably going to get the 4th because season 4's airing right now, so you know that's going to be...
It's still going?
Yeah, the manga is only just finished in Japan, so you know, and I don't even think they're that far. I don't think they're like close to where the manga is in that respect. Like sometimes you know the animes kind of catch up quite quickly. I don't think Rent a Girlfriend's done that yet. So it has a clear goal to finish now, at least. So you know, yay. Greatest trash ever written. Could not care if all the characters died. I'm still super invested though.
Yeah. The thing I mainly remember is that all the characters are apparently just terrible.
Oh, they're all awful
from the title
people.
and the setup. I can't really be that surprised, can I?
Yeah.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make way back was that, like, it's such a funny moment that I kind of end up having a screen cap of like, the woman just going, what did he mean by that?
Yeah.
And now I will use that anytime I need to use that phrase.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's, you know, it's just a great little bit of sweetness. It's a sweet treat anime, you know. It's a cake type thing where you just eat it to feel good. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Weird analogy, but
No, that makes perfect sense. I've heard the cake analogy before.
yeah. So I guess we'll then transition now into Dandadan, because these two are very different shows.
Yeah, but like in a weird way, sort of similar.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like the friend group dynamics, it's kind of funny watching them back to back.
Yeah, because like Okarun and Momo have like a similar dynamic as Gojo and Marin, especially in that like one of them is clearly or they're both like clearly into each other. At this point, Gojo and My Dress Up Darling's only just kind of coming to realize he likes Marin. But like they're both kind of like reluctant to acknowledge it, and it's like because you know Momo and Marin are both like clearly into the other person, but like are either too shy,
like they're aware,
or you know too dense to actually like admit anything to the other person, which I forgot about with Dandadan up until like the sort of like end of the last episode that we watched. For this session at the end of episode 6, where they sort of like, where Momo doesn't really hold Okarun's hand, she just sort of like messes around with it.
Like playfully sort of like tries to see how far she can go into like holding his hand.
Yeah.
And Okarun, who I swear at that point, if you're in that situation, dude, you gotta know what's going on.
Yeah.
It cannot be more obvious.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just hold our hand, man.
He's
the stance.
He's an idiot. He's just an idiot.
Yeah, but like, is his skull made out of titanium? You can't be that stupid.
Yes, his skull is made of titanium.
Dude.
He's
literally holding your hand.
This has got to be like the one shonen show that didn't immediately recap what happened in the first season at the start of the next one, because like we just got dumped right back into this. Like, do you remember what happened at the end of season 1? Fuck you if you don't. We're going straight back.
I kind of had to like jolt myself into, oh yeah, this is where we ended.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, we're at a hot spring. Okay, like I could remember the hole from the house, but I forgot about Momo like going to the hot spring.
I do very much remember like the ending with like her getting like sort of creeped on by like the guys in like the pool, because I remember at the end of that being like, don't just end it there. I want to see her kick their fucking faces in.
I just sort of like remember them discovering the hole in the house and then being like, oh man, this is a weird place to leave the end of your season, but okay, just gotta wait 7 months for that to, you know, continue.
Yeah. Going off of that, it really feels like this whole like arc of the first few episodes of season 2 felt like the actual finale arc of season 1.
Yeah,
to me,
I get why it wasn't like part of season 1, because it does take the whole 6 episodes we just watched to like fully kind of wrap up this story.
Yeah,
it is an arc that does go on for a bit, to the point that like at some point I kind of forgot what their aim was, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like they find the hole in the house, but then at the start of the second season it's immediately like there's these people who show up at the house and it's like, oh yeah, these are our landlords. It's like, okay. And then they fall into the hole and there's a Mongolian death worm and then there's the evil eye spirit, and things just kind of kept happening that I'm like, okay, I can't keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, it's like, unlike the first season where like the stakes felt very sort of simple in what was going on, like the formula was basically, here's the entity or like the alien or like the spirit or whatever that's haunting this place. Beat it, go home.
Yeah.
get Okuru in the balls.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I completely forgot about until this moment.
Yeah. I was like, okay, how, like writing the little intros, I was like, how do I make like a ball reference in here? And eventually I just left it because I was like, I can't do it without it sounding weird.
Yeah, there's no good way to talk about the balls.
No. It's definitely like the longest story arc we've had so far. Because a lot of them are like maybe like 2 or 3 episodes at most in the first season. Yeah. Whereas this one's like the whole first half of the second season is just this one story arc.
Depending on like what you count as like still part of the arc, it takes like at least 5 episodes like of this season to like fully wrap up. Like I'm assuming like the arc sort of stops when they get away from the village and they return back home.
Yeah,
but there's still like lingering stuff with like Evil Eye.
Yeah, I sort of like, I would consider when they leave the village definitely like the end of that arc. It's just that, you know, the Evil Eye sort of like continues as like a, I guess like an ancillary arc afterwards. Yeah. Which they've sort of dealt with, but you know, that's just sort of like the conclusion of all of the ones that involve people who become main characters. Is like, oh yeah, you're getting to join the weird gang because you've now got some.
Yeah, you are the boss that gets to join the party.
Yeah.
Can't wait till he's depowered.
Yeah.
Anyway, the main point was that like, unlike those the last few arcs, it feels like this one kept adding more and more stuff as it went on, so it became a lot more of an elaborate thing.
It kept going in like new directions, because at first it was like, oh, this thing's like something that people make human sacrifices to, and then suddenly this other spirit showed up, and that was not making people kill themselves. Not really. That was something else that never really got fully addressed.
they explained that like both the Mongolian Deathworm and Evil Eye both have the power to try and make people kill themselves, but because they were both active at the same time, they cancelled each other out. Which is
Yeah.
the funniest way to explain that.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah, then Gigi sort of like falls for it, I guess. He gets a fell for it award.
Sympathizes with
Yeah.
it. Because he falls for the dramatic, like, tearful backstory that... I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't sure after he'd been taken over if that was all just bullshit or not.
Even at this point, like, I'm still not sure. Like, I think he's convinced it's real, but whether it's real or not, I'm not really sure.
I think the way the last episode was going on it is that the backstory is real, like that all, but it's so much. The spirit itself has become so angry and resentful over the years since then that it now just uses that as a way to fall.
Yeah. Because it was trying to find someone with sufficient spiritual power to...
Yeah, which... Fucking Gigi, really?
Yeah. Like, he has enough that he can withstand being the host of it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I haven't really had it addressed that he had that much spiritual power in the first place. And then there's, like, the fact
but
that...
also him? Really?
Also, yeah. Because Turbo Granny was talking about him being called, like, a genius, too. And I'm like, okay, Gigi? You sure?
We're seeing the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's cool. I love him. I really love the friendship he develops with Okarun for like these last few episodes. But like, really?
He's also a dumbass. Like, that's, you know, he's part of the weird gang. They're all dumbasses.
Yeah. Like, he fell for it.
Yeah.
He got the Fell for It Again award.
I bet they just couldn't come up with like a good enough reason to have him like keep his powers, so they were like,
yeah,
fuck it.
he's a spiritual prodigy, but he's too fucking dumb to realize it.
Yeah.
So he has to be taken over for it to actually be used by something that actually knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
And the thing that knows what it's doing is evil.
Yeah, of course it is.
This is great. I've just convinced myself this is genius. I take it back. No notes.
I do like that when Evil Eye takes Gigi over, the main like showcase of the abilities and powers is through like football esque moves, because obviously we kind of learn that Gigi likes football and stuff because he has the
it's a good sort of like way to pull in like his character and like have that be a part of him that's like actually narratively interesting.
Yeah, because I can't remember, like, is Ira like a gymnast too, or is that just something she gets from like the acrobat self-key stuff?
I can't remember. I think she might be some sort of acrobat, but it's been too long. I mainly just remember Ira as insane popular girl.
Yeah.
Popular in air quotes.
Because she tanks her own popularity at the end there.
I'm gonna be honest, it feels like she was never actually that popular. She just thought she was.
She was the mean girl, for sure, you know? Like, the one that was popular, but only through the fact of that she was a complete and utter bitch.
Yeah, but she's a popular mean girl, but she's in actuality just as crazy as the rest of them, which I kind of love as a dynamic.
Yeah.
I still remember very vividly in the first season just sort of seeing her like kidnap Momo because she thought she was evil or whatever, and just realizing, oh, you are crazy.
Yeah.
You fit here. You just don't even realize it.
I also love how like there's no prelude to her showing back up. They just like kidnap her again before she goes into class.
Yeah, she's just here.
Yeah, they just, you know, see her standing outside the classroom and they're like, oh, we need you real quick. Come here.
Yeah. She's about to go into a little bit of a depressive episode because obviously everyone knows she was kind of a bitch now.
Yeah.
And so then Momo just comes in, is like 2 steps away from just picking her up and going, okay, this way.
Yeah.
This is where the plot is.
I forgot that like she was obsessed with Okarun too. Like,
Same.
it's less intense here as it is when like the whole acrobat silky stuff happens. Because she kidnaps him at one point and like tries to make out with him and stuff. It's a bit weird, but you know.
Oh yeah.
But now she's like still obsessive, just more like in the sense of staring at him when he is near.
Yeah. You see, now it's just sort of cute instead of, you know, kind of off-putting.
Yeah, it's less, let's get the police involved, and more like, oh, I'm not rooting for you because you're not the main girl, but still, I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're a cool addition to this group.
Yeah.
I kind of loved to jump ahead just a little bit like further when they're going to when the rock concert starts.
Yes.
Which was no reason for it to be played like that, but I'm so glad they did.
Yeah.
But like you can see that like Okarun and like Momo getting into it like right off the start, but she's sort of covering her ears. She's like this.
Yeah.
But then as it starts, you see her slowly just sort of put her hands away from like her head, like getting more into it until like once it's really getting into it, the
yeah. That part's actually quite interesting, if only because they kind of got in trouble for it, the whole rock concert thing, because Hayashi or Hayashi, it's kind of weird the way it's written. I'm not sure how to pronounce it because obviously they are Hayashi and like they're a group of people who perform to satiate the spirit, as the explanation we get in the show, and they're called Hayashi. The band's called that, but it's not got the H. It's like 2 I's. So I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced the same or if it's like meant to be pronounced Hayashi. But anyway, they're a reference to the real world band X Japan. Literally, the sound is so incredibly similar. The band members are named after band members from X Japan. The drummer is called
very much ripping off of them.
Yeah, like hold on, I'll bring up their band page from the wiki and read out the name. So you got the drummer Yoshikichi, who is based on the actual real life X Japan band leader and drummer Yoshiki, sorry. Is it? What the hell? Hold on, I'm blanking. I know X Japan pretty well. I don't know why I'm blanking on this.
It's because we're recording, so now you're
finishing. Yeah, so he's based on Yoshiki, who's the real life drummer and band leader. And then you got the vocalist Toshiro, who's based on Toshi, the real life vocalist. Then you got Patterson, who's the bassist, based on the real bassist Pata. And then you got guitarist Hideji, who's based on the real guitarist Hide, or real farmer guitarist. He passed away in 1998. He killed himself in 1998. It's kind of depressing. Don't really know what happened.
He's still gone.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
Yeah. It's just weird when you say like, oh, they passed away, because it makes it sound like something else happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it sound like it. Yeah. External is probably the best way to put it. But yeah, they then got in trouble for this because like it was meant to sound also like X Japan. Vocals were performed by oh god, he's the lead singer of another band. I'm scanning the Wikipedia page now. Kisho Taniyama, who's the vocalist of Grand Rodeo, who sounds eerily like the lead singer of X Japan in this situation. But yeah, that, you know, came out. It's a big sort of homage to them. They're a very famous band in Japan. They disbanded in 2018. And Japan being Japan, they had to apologize because they didn't seek permission or inform anyone that they were doing this. So yeah, they had to speak to Yoshiki and put out an apology. Because, Japan. You can't do anything remotely close to copyright infringement, even if it's to honor something.
Yeah, it's like sort of the opposite of like historically how China would like deal with copyright infringement, which is just
yeah,
it's fine.
Is that Darth Vader? No,
it's very nice. Absolutely, it's Darth Saber.
Yeah,
and like because like for like China, like they would see that as like a form of endearment and like a compliment.
Yeah.
Whereas like on the Western side, and I'm from the sounds of it, Japan is sort of a similar mindset where it's like, no, this is mine.
Yeah.
You stole it. Give it back.
The incredible part of this though is that they're all under the same label or parent company. Whatever label the soundtrack for Science Saru and everything is done through is also the same. It's all owned by Sony.
Yeah,
so
it's all part of the same corp. Insert Rebel Path cello here.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was no way I was going to get out of this without one Cyberpunk reference.
Yeah.
I'm done now.
So yeah, I love that because it's a great song. I just find it very funny they like had to put out an apology for something that you shouldn't really need to apologize for.
Yeah, like I'd say this comes under like the sort of like a parody sort of thing. Like I said earlier, it's almost like a riff on like stuff. But like then again, depending on how that's handled, there is like a sort of grey zone. Like is it or is it like just straight up copying?
It's homage in form of parody, where they take it seriously, so it is still parody, but it's done with the right intent. So to not like obviously poke fun at them. But that's
like in the tone of the show, it seems very much like it's gonna be lighthearted no matter what.
But that's sort of the big issue with Japan is that they don't have the same clauses within their copyright law that permit, parody and reference and stuff like that. That's why everything's like so. It's like Sony, but it's Doni instead. They change like one character because you're not allowed to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember us making a joke on something we were watching like just a couple months ago. I think it was maybe like a Shinkai or whatever, but like it was very much obviously a Coca-Cola logo.
Yes,
but like not quite. So when watching it, I made the joke of, "Oh my god, it's my favorite soft drink, Coca-Cola."
Yeah. Which is sort of the weird part of. The weird thing about Weathering with You, because he like went and sought out all the rights for stuff so that they could all be the real life things. Apple, McDonald's, Pepsi. I almost said Wikipedia, and I think I was thinking of like the classic McDonald's play where they just turn the M upside down. But yeah, so
McDonald's Wario.
So like Weathering is just like the only show with real life product placement.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird when you've seen enough anime and you're expecting like the off-brands.
Yeah, you're expecting the Pear phone or the the McDonald's or Beppis, something like that.
Yeah. Like that whole like concert part, like in the episode, it was so out of nowhere, and I wouldn't have expected it if I didn't already know it was in the episode.
Yeah.
Because I've been using the GIF of like Ira, Okarun, and Momo like headbanging like multiple times before we actually sat down and watched this.
I remember knowing
it's such good animation.
Yeah. I remember finding out about this happening in the show because of Dragon Force, the band, because their lead singer voices Toshiro, the lead singer of Hayashi, in the show. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's Sure.
I mean, that's cool. That's so cool to me.
That's such a great like use of like cultural reference in another form, like dubbing something in and making the cultural reference still work. Because like obviously Dragon Force, I wouldn't say are the most like famous of their music genre, but pretty much everyone knows them because of Guitar Hero at this point.
I know their one song.
Yeah, I think everyone knows their one song.
Dumbass, non-informed Dragon Force person.
Hilarious thing about that is that it's not the same lead singer, because that lead singer left the band and then Mark Hudson joined after that.
You know, I feel like on some level I should have expected that.
Yeah. I actually prefer Mark Hudson to the original lead singer, but I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know my Dragon Force discourse at this point.
Well, if this episode ever takes off in some way, you'll find out.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I had any other things I wanted to bring up for Dandadan.
Yeah.
It's still its same insane self, you know.
Yeah.
Tons of just references to other things. It's constantly mocking me that I still haven't watched Ultraman, like in every episode, just through various small things, whether it's the way Momo poses when she's like approaching the dead Mongolian death worm. She's doing Ultraman poses at every single time it turns around to her again.
Okay.
Yeah, like the way she's standing with like her arms like that, that's like the classic.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even clock that. Okay, that one, the sort of like L shape of the arms. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. I think like every time she like moves, and that she moves into a different Ultraman pose.
Okay. See, I at least appreciate that it works, that like if you don't know the reference, it's just something funny.
Yeah. I think it's the same with like if you haven't seen Evangelion, like the fact they censor LCL so heavily, like it's just kind of funny.
That jump scared me.
Yeah.
That absolutely jump scared me. Like, they didn't have to say it was LCL, it could have just been something else, but the moment they described it as oxygen or liquid that gives oxygen directly to your lungs, or however they described it, and then like I was like, wait, isn't that, and then it just comes up L.
Yeah.
I was like, guys. My god, the world ended. She's out there. Giant Ray is out there. She's gonna find you.
And they turned into these crustacean guys somehow.
I guess that's one way to do the instrumentality project. I don't know what. Not entirely sure what was going on in that version.
Yeah.
Anna was going through a whole other type of shit.
Yeah, that was when his autism kicked in. He got real obsessed with crustaceans.
It is the endpoint of all evolution. I guess it makes sense.
That's the same episode with like a JoJo's reference at one point, and then, you know, Smash Bruh.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Took me out.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you know what? If you're gonna do it, that's like the most on the nose one you can pick.
Yeah, it's the most on the nose. I don't mean this as like derogatory, but it's like the most laziest as well.
Yeah. But I think if you want like the most amount of people to get the reference, like
Yeah.
I get it. But yeah. And then you got
just know that Nintendo's sending like a Mario with a shotgun though to their offices after that.
We also forgot to mention that Gigi and Evil Eye's whole thing is basically just a big Ranma reference too.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
I remember them explaining that, and I'm going, hold on, isn't this just the plot of?
Yeah, like it's Ranma, but instead of turning into a girl, you turn into an evil suicide spirit, which I'm not gonna lie, less based.
Less based, yeah. Do like the explosive impact of it. Like they have no, like there is no moment of reaction. It's just immediately like everyone's fucking thrown everywhere.
I love that. I love that so much. That it just
Yeah.
takes one drop, and then next thing you know, like you're just flying, and like, there's purple light everywhere. Like it just happens.
Yeah.
It's like setting off dynamite.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts of the whole thing is when like, is it like the end of one of the episodes, like maybe episode 5, where like they're all eating like dinner, and they're saying, okay, we can't get any like cold water on Gigi because he's gonna like transform. So like, oh by the way, can you pass the sauce?
Yeah.
Like right over him, and then he's like, sure thing. And then it like, does the thing where like it misses, and then it's like, oh, okay, not that sauce, the other sauce, and it's like, so you have that moment, so you're like, no, not the sauce. Oh, okay, everything's fine. No, not the soy sauce. That was great. I loved that whole thing.
I love the slow-mo of it too, where it's like, you know, it slows down as he passes it over, and then the drip. It's so Mission Impossible.
I love that, like, I don't think they reuse the animation, but it looks so similar enough.
Yeah. They could have just reused it. I don't think they did. No, I think they went to the full effort of doing, like, a whole different sequence, because his hand is in, like, a different place for it to fall on his hand.
Yeah.
God. They go, like, to such a incredible amount of effort for this show. Like everything just looks fantastic, even when it's not like a big fight scene.
We didn't even talk about the puppets, the puppet jump scare.
Oh god, yeah. The in My Dress Up Darling, to go back to that.
Yeah, sorry, this is important, we promise.
They're like Marin asks a question to Gojo about like making Hina dolls, and he laughs at like how many Hina dolls can be made like in a day for a studio, because she thought it was 10 and it's actually like 2 to 400 or something like that.
Honestly, I thought it was about 10 too.
Same, you know, you only see the 2 guys doing this in the whole show, and you're like, yeah, the amount of effort they're going to, I imagine it's maybe like 10. But then, like, they go into a full explanation of like painting Hina dolls and the construction of Hina dolls, and suddenly it's just like puppets, and not puppets on like
classic children's educational show.
Yeah, like the background is all sort of like puppetified stuff, and there's like a TV. Yeah, it's like an incredible amount of effort.
There's a little logo in the corner that says "Learning Time."
Yeah, like that took more time and effort than animating it in the style of puppets, you know, to get like puppeteers and puppets and to do all of that part.
And they did all the little details as well. Like, it could have honestly have just been like, if they wanted to do the puppet thing, it could have just been a puppet like Gojo, just like going through the steps and stuff. But no, they have the granddad there just sort of waddling about, like going and then you have Puppet Marin still eating like popcorn or whatever while this is happening.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're suddenly on an episode of Sesame Street. Okay.
I'd watch a full episode like that.
Yeah,
you could have Karen and
Noah
and Twin Tails girl as like, Noah as like the two people like sort of commenting on it, like in like the stands.
Yeah, as oh god, Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name as well, and I hate it.
Yeah, Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah, because you gotta have one of those parodies somewhere.
Oh yeah, you always gotta have a Waldorf and Statler in there.
Yeah, I don't care if it's Japan and they maybe don't know it. You need to have it.
Yeah, I can't believe we completely blanked on bringing that up for My Dress Up Darling. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, it goes to show that both these shows put in a lot of effort for things they really didn't need to. But you know, I really think it's bumps up like a few points just for putting in the effort.
Oh, 100%. It's one of those things where, you know, you have adaptations of manga that just sort of do it, you know, very plain and by the numbers, and just sort of take the manga and put it onto a TV screen with voices and movement and stuff. And then you've got shows like My Dress Up Darling and Dandadan that sort of go the extra mile to realize that this is an adaptation. so they can do things that they can only do in the medium that they're making it in, to transcend the original source material. Like, that's... Yes, at this point in the anime industry, every anime adaptation is just an advertisement for the manga so that they can keep the sales numbers up. But ideally, in a creative sense, every anime adaptation should seek to transcend its source material and be something...
And on its own 2 feet.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's... Dandadan and My Dress Up Darling are like prime examples of current... versions of that. It's just sad we don't see them very often anymore.
Yeah, it's becoming more of a rarity, I think, just like in terms of the overall like industry.
Yeah,
maybe not even just, and that you go deep enough, you find out it's just like a thing that's happening worldwide. Just like
100%.
Creativity being more stuffed up because line go up.
Yeah. It's like every Batman adaptation has to do the origin story, and it's like, no, can we just start in the middle of him being Batman? Because at that point, if you're just doing the origin every time, you're gonna have like a trilogy that just covers similar material, and you're never gonna get Robin, you're not gonna get Batgirl, you're not gonna get like Jason, you're not gonna get Tim. Like, just start in the middle and have the whole Bat family be there, and you've got an ultimately more interesting film than what's come before, just in the fact it's different and not the same thing again. I say that as I love the Batman.
Yeah, like going just on the Batman thing, this is a completely different topic, but like to go through this like very quickly, just like it would be an opportunity to show a version of Batman we've never seen in live action film before. Always like an origin story, and if it gets any further than that, it has just him be Batman. If you're very lucky, and it's probably a movie they don't Robin, because joke, am I right?
You're gonna have to say all of that again.
Oh, did I cut?
Yeah.
Damn it! I was getting passionate as well. Like every Batman like movie has to do the origin, but it's a bit further than that. It'll be Batman, and if you're lucky enough in a story that the movie doesn't actually want to take seriously, they'll put in Robin because Robin's just a joke, am I right?
Yeah.
There's no actual interesting character dynamics you can put in there. There's no real story. Because who wants that? It's not like Bruce building a family from the ground up. It's the culmination of his entire character arc over decades.
I find it utterly incredible that Christopher Nolan, when making The Dark Knight, looked at The Long Halloween and took essentially the origin story of Two-Face from that wholesale and adapted it into his film. And then you have The Dark Knight Rises that somehow has Robin in it, but didn't look at Dark Victory, the follow-up to The Long Halloween, that has a reinvention of Dick Grayson's introduction and origin story as Robin, that he could have put in to The Dark Knight Rises. Because that's like, if you're gonna do that version of Two-Face, you could just immediately follow up with that version of Robin. But no, he decided to do whatever the hell he did with... Sorry, say that again. I was talking over you. Sorry.
we can't take that seriously. Let's just make Robin a cop.
Yeah, a cop who isn't Robin and then somehow just has the name Robin as his middle name. Like, okay.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it is. But Dark Knight Rises is not like great either. In general. Sorry, we're on a whole Batman tangent here.
Yeah, this is why we love Dandadan.
Yeah.
It did it right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've covered basically everything I want to talk about just in the episodes we've seen so far.
I don't think I've got any other things I wanted to touch on. I covered everything I had in mind. So yeah, I think this is the end of this first episode covering these two shows.
If we forgot anything that we wanted to talk about, we'll just probably cover them in the next episode.
Exactly, and you can call us out in the comments, but, there is still another episode to come, so, rein it in.
Maybe still call us out, because that's still engagement, motherfuckers.
Yeah, And remember, at the time that
you're playing into our hands no matter what. We love you, dear listener.
Yes, though do remember at this point in time the shows have not finished airing, so we don't know anything beyond what we've watched.
Nah, tell us anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, we will see you guys next week for something. We don't know. Bye.
You'll find out. Bye.